What a dramatic start. They strutted in like movie villains and soon found a tunnel. This time, a girl was sent alone, but Ying Qianxi, wanting to replace her, was stopped by the officer. Seeing the girl shivering in fear, Gus and Ying Qianxi exchanged a glance before making a surprising move when the cop wasn't looking. They seized machine guns from officers, Gus taking a female cop hostage, promising to release her on leaving. But the male officer didn't get the memo. However, the male officer sought revenge, shooting the female. Meanwhile, Ying Qianxi decisively ended her life. Now, both officers are roasted meat. But this tunnel was a real maze. Even though they were carefully choosing a safe route, they still encountered monster attacks halfway through, and two companions were invited away by the monster. Just as a monster was about to take a bite out of Gus, a gunshot suddenly rang out from nearby, fired by Vasily on a mission. This monster was like a little blood. At that moment, Vasily was fighting with his little master when he suddenly sensed something and dashed to the door, just as May and Kelly. He quickly urged Zack to pack up and leave, with no time to explain. They had just 3 minutes. After Kelly and the others left the room, Zack started writing in his diary on the bed, secretly leaving a line. Meanwhile, the Schutz had no idea Zack was below them. He and Dachai monitored sound waves as Vasily and others reached the monster's lair. Vasily picked up Zack's book in the hallway, and upon seeing the content, he immediately notified Dachai and the Schutz. "About Zack, you need to go there." Dachai quickly followed the Schutz down to the underground, following the direction given by Vasily. The two ventured deeper into the tunnel when suddenly a monster emerged from the darkness, and the Schutz promptly shot it, severing its tongue, its eyes turning red at this moment. Dachai rushed forward and chopped off its head, thinking, "What's this? They know we're here." Meanwhile, Vasily and the others reached the giant pit, and looking down at the massive monsters, Gus was equally shocked, planning to use them to wipe out all the monsters in one go. Gus and the female officer provided cover around. Before long, a few scouts spotted them. With no choice, Gus and the others had to shoot back, the noise instantly awakening the monster horde below. Fortunately, Vasily's aerial bomb was ready just in time, and looking at the beautiful fireworks, the three wore victorious smiles. On the other side, Eve and Dachai finally found the book Zack had left behind. Written inside it was that he was doing well and hadn't been turned into a blood. Eve gazed at the room where Zack once lived, immediately filled with nostalgia. Dachai thought they must still be nearby, so he rushed out to search. Eve bumped into Ihorst outside. He said they'd train her, but tonight's victory was temporary. As Ihorst blabbered incessantly once more, everyone was fully conscious of the repercussions of withholding their approval. Outside, chaos reigned as monsters surged like a tide, attacking all outposts of the safe zone, including the recently reclaimed Central Park. This was by far the best barbecue I had ever seen. Only fine cuisine prepared over open flames can truly bring out the aroma of meat. After icy water splash, perfect meat became luxurious delicacy. Since Bloodsucker's full-scale war, Vasily seemed to lose fight. The Central Park they fought so hard to reclaim was taken back by the Bloodsuckers in an instant. Abram reassured, "We can't defeat an army that can regenerate itself. We'd better pack them into silver coffins." Then Abram took Vasily to a silver shop. They needed to collect enough silver to make coffins. Although it looked ransacked, Abram knew there were still hidden treasures. They discovered a concealed safe located in the basement. Vasily blew the door open with explosives and indeed found a large amount of silver. Abram melted it all down into silver liquid, then poured it into molds, preparing to make coffins to seal the bloodsuckers. On the other hand, Eve's research made a significant breakthrough. Through the battle last night, they intercepted some frequencies. They had discovered that at certain times, the monsters communicated, and usually frequently. It was as if the bloodsuckers were issuing commands, and Conlon mentioned he had seen it before. He mentioned that the bloodsuckers possess a unique power known as silent voice. He believed if they could isolate that sound, they could use a microwave transmitter to interfere, but they were lacking a reference object. Dachai thought of the airplane that went missing a month ago. Its black box might hold the sounds of the bloodsuckers. So the three of them immediately left the safe zone, preparing to head towards the airport. Outside, chaos reigned. The absence of police turned the streets into a paradise for robbers. Dachai spotted a few thugs robbing a family of 3 on the street. Filled with a sense of justice, he dashed out of the car to confront them, leaving Eve with no choice but to run along. Just as both sides prepared for a showdown, Eve and the gang successfully reached the airport. This place was like a ghost town, void of any human presence. Luckily, they quickly found the plane's black box. At this moment, Palomar received reports from his men that the cargo ship from Egypt was already cleared out. He sought Abram, told him everything, but Abram pushed him away. The situation rapidly became troublesome as Palomar didn't even know what he was supposed to get. He wanted to get the formula for Baizu from Abram, but didn't even know what the goods were. Abram didn't care to respond. Palama pleaded, "Can you teach me how to do it?" Abram replied, "Absolutely, you can. Just make sure to like it first, though. I warn you, we still have a considerable distance ahead of us to traverse, or else it will become quite messy indeed." After Palama returned to the 10-star group, he immediately had the nanny drip Baizu into his eyes, accompanied by intense agony. He fell into a state of shock, but soon opened his blood-red eyes. This was a factory specifically for slaughtering humans. The builder here was indeed Ihorst. Upon seeing the dummy hanging up, Ihorst was furious. He wanted to see real human reactions, not Thace was about to explain but got cut off.